Jesus explains false overzealousness and the snares of my adversary. March 13th, 1957, message 6783, from Jesus through Bertha Dudde, spoken by Pascal. The field you are to cultivate will always correspond in size to your willingness to work and your ability. It can be very large if you devote yourselves fully to it, and it can be small, depending on your willingness and your zeal for service. For I do not exert any pressure or compulsion. I give as you ask. However, my vineyard workers often take on too much, in that they set themselves tasks beyond their abilities, for which I have not called them, wanting to work in certain areas on their own authority out of a certain ambition, with the intention of wanting to distinguish themselves. And then they will cause more harm than good, for through their ambition they leave my domain. And for my adversary this means a welcome opportunity to give his instructions, which are then often heeded. And this is the danger that threatens every vineyard worker who does not strictly follow my instructions, who is driven by overzealousness, because he has lost his inner humility, because he wants to achieve much but does not want to help many. It is only a subtle difference, but all my vineyard workers should earnestly examine what motivates them to work in the vineyard. They must not fail to approach me in silent prayer for my instructions, and then always do what they feel compelled to do within themselves. But they should not undertake work that I have not assigned to them, and which must therefore be considered more akin to worldly work, even though it appears to pursue spiritual goals. You humans do not know the means by which my adversary works, and how easily he can draw you into his snares. But you need not fall prey to him as long as you submit yourselves to me in deepest humility, and desire only to be guided by me. However, I will not assign you an area to work on as long as you do not master this area. But if you enter it without my instruction, you will be influenced by the opposing side, because it knows your weaknesses and wants to bring them to the fore, and it will now use you as you wish. Often, people who were willing to serve me, but did not want to work in small circles, sought out a field of activity where they could be more in the public eye, without having received the assignment from me. Often they carried out work without realizing who had prompted them to do so, and so it was possible that servants who were initially good became unsuitable for work in my vineyard, because too many worldly urges still slumbered within them, which then came to the fore and brought about their false seal. But again, this danger need not be feared by all who wish to serve me, if I myself am above them, if they also entrust their weaknesses and shortcomings to me, and ask me for protection from their own failures, and if they always wait for my instructions before undertaking any work. All my servants are indeed faced with temptations, because each of them still has weaknesses and shortcomings, which the adversary is aware of and seeks to exploit. But man's close bond with me protects him from falling victim to him, whereas his bond with the world weakens his resistance, and then there will be danger of succumbing to those temptations. Therefore, always keep your gaze directed inward. Do not follow world events so closely, but rather the spiritual development in the world, in your surroundings and within yourselves. Then you will eagerly do detailed work. You will work on yourselves. You will always be helpful to your fellow men, and you will provide them with the spiritual nourishment they lack. And this field of activity will be as large as you are able to work on it. However, you must not venture further, unless you wish to work for the one who is my and your enemy. Amen.